What is up, YouTube family? Today we're going to talk about how not to end up on a ship in the Navy. This isn't some crazy cheat code. This is just 7 rates that have a very low chance of ending up on a ship. So before I start the list, I want to say that if you are watching this and doing research on joining the Navy and you don't want to end up on a ship, and like you 100% do not want to end up on a ship, I honestly will say just go to a different branch, because nothing can really guarantee you from going on a ship. Because even if you pick one of these jobs and you may not end up on a ship in your like first tour, your second tour or something, maybe you're trying to make chief, maybe something comes up and you end up going on a ship. Or if you pick one of these jobs and you go to A school and you fail out of A school or something happens or you get injured and you have to re-rate, now you end up picking a rate that you end up having to go on a ship to do. But with that being said, number 1.
I went out to Afghanistan and, you hear a gunshot wound to the head and you think that person's DOA. When they came into our hospital, there was a 98% success rate.
HMs. The reason HM is on my list is because there's so many HMs in the Navy that they're like pretty much the most overcrowded rate right now. And they usually end up in clinics or in hospitals. Sometimes they'll end up on ships. Like small boys, we have like maybe 3 HMs. I think that's the max that we can have. Maybe some might have 4, but it's like we only have 3 out of the thousands that they have, and there's only so many ships in the Navy. So you have a way higher chance of just ending up in a clinic or something over ending up on a ship. And I went to boot camp with, I would say almost half of my division was HMs for some reason, and not a single one of them went to a ship for their first tour. And some of them are on their second tour right now, and they're going to a different command that's still a hospital or a clinic. And I'm like, I'm over here still on this ship trying to figure it out, and y'all going to multiple hospitals. Also, even on the Navy's website, it says HMs, their role is to be in clinics and health facilities and all this stuff. So they have a bigger role on shore than in the sea, which goes on to my second one.
I'm a police officer.
I'm a military working dog handler.
I'm in charge, and whenever we have a prisoner,
I issue all of these weapons.
There's so many things you can do as a master at arms.
MA, and just like HMs, they have a bigger role on shore than they do at sea. We only had 1 MA on my ship, and I've heard some ships have 2, which kind of sounds weird because even the one we had, like, everybody did security, so they kind of was just like the overseer. But they have, like, every base needs 8 MAs, every base needs security. They have expeditionary that needs security forces and all this stuff, and a lot of them get assigned to that over being assigned to a ship, so you have a higher chance of ending up on a shore or doing something like that over being stationed on a ship. The third one is...
They converted some of the missile tubes to SEAL delivery systems. They couldn't find us.
Pretty much the cool special forces guys like SWCC, EOD, SEALs, stuff like that. I don't know a lot about their stuff. Like, obviously they're like top secret. They do all this cool stuff that people don't really know about. But the people that I have talked to, they've talked about doing like small boat ops, helo ops. They have been on like ships for like short periods of time to like get from point A to B and stuff like that. But they don't usually get stationed on the ship. They might ride the ship or they might go somewhere with the ship, but they're not there long term. They're not doing like a 3-year tour on a ship. But they're also like one of the hardest rates to go to because you have to go through special schools, you have to pass all these tests, you have to be super physical, like fit, you have to do like mental screenings. But if you are able to do that, then you might do your whole career without ever being on a ship. The next one on my list, number 4, I believe, I kind of like lost count.
I'm RP3 Berg, Andrew, Station RP, and this is basically a chaplain assistant to all the chapels here. So I've been an RP since January, and I went through A school, C school, and feel really good about it right now. I mean, I'm basically jumping on the spot for most of the chaplains. Like if they needed something done, like as far as logistics, as like setting up mics for a service for Sundays, I'm there. And I also be helping them out if they needed some paperwork, like facilities requests. And as an RP, we are that bridge between chaplains and the sailors and Marines.
So
RPs, I honestly, the only thing I know about RPs is that they do special programs, religious stuff, and ceremonies for the Navy. And outside of the ones that I met at boot camp, I've only met one RP. And pretty much the way they explain their job is like they do like the admin stuff and like the planning different things for like chaplains, for hospitals, for all this stuff, but they don't necessarily go on ships. And I know the Navy is like they're what is it? They're doing the program now where they're sending chaplains to ships for like mental health and for deployment needs and all this stuff. But I've been on multiple deployments or underways or whatever with multiple chaplains, and I've never seen an RP assist them. So I feel like you have little to no chance of ending up on a ship as an RP unless the Navy changes something in the future. The next one on my list, this one I will say that I'm pretty sure you have zero chance of ending up on a ship because it is
35 for the purpose of the dynamic increasing 36. We want to find a tone.
When I was in 4th grade, I started playing clarinet.
Here we go. 3.
The musicians. Yes, the Navy does have their own band, and I only met one MU my entire time in the military, and she pretty much described her job as like band practice. Like they go, they practice, they obviously do like military day-to-day stuff, but they practice their instruments, do all this stuff. They go to like ceremonies, they go to events, and they play music pretty much, and that's pretty much their job. And honestly, I don't see a need for the Navy to send a drummer out to a ship for a deployment because it's like, what are you really gonna do? You have to retrain that person and have them learn all this other stuff that's like outside of their job. So I feel like that might be the one on the list that has like zero chance of ending up on a ship. And then the last one on my list is
see it, pick it up, collect it, analyze it, and forward it for intelligence production.
Crypto, I found out about this like doing research, but it's weird because I've met a lot of like CTs and crypto people, but I've also heard that if you choose to go the intel route in the shore side of it, you can secure like staying on the shore side without ending up on a ship if you wanted to. So I guess maybe they just chose to be on ships, or maybe like it's based off of like your ranking and stuff like that. I don't know, but intel has a lot of shore stuff to do, so you could possibly not end up on a ship if you did the intel route. And an honorable mention is CSs. Ships, every ship has CSs. We need food, and there's usually like maybe like 10, 15, maybe even 20 of them, depending on the size of your ship. But I've met CSs when I was like in school and like different bases and stuff, and some of them have never been on a ship because like they've been in 15 years, never been on a ship because they've been in Washington doing something at a galley. They went to go do something else somewhere, like some expeditionary stuff. They went to go work for the president even and all this stuff, and they just ended up on shore and they just never had to do ship. So I would look into being a CS. That is my 7. So like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the description. If you are one of these rates, please leave a little comment or like review or something so somebody else could like read it and get like better insight, because I'm sonar technician. I don't know anything about the actual day-to-day about these jobs, but I have interacted with them and I have seen different things and like done research. And at one point before I joined the Navy, I was doing my own research. So just leave a comment and subscribe.